You don't want to come off with, or you do want to come off with, my relationship with you is more important than you being impressed by me. Love them. It says patience. Listen. This is one we can all agree on. That we don't have patience. And the world looks at you and says, well, they're not very patient. You ever responded to what's going on in the world and you're wanting something done now about it? You're wanting God to fix it now, your lifetime. You want to see it happen. You want God to straighten this place out. You want to see that guy put in the office because things are going to change. Ooh, I sound like a little black preacher. Oh, I got it. I was starting to get it. Somebody just said, make America great again. It's never great. It sucks. Always does. Always will. Patience. Being able to go at the speed of the person that you're dealing with. It's just kind of like the strength and weakness level that they're at. It's the speed that they're at. Not hurrying them along with, come on, you need to learn this. Come on, how many times are you going to let this happen to you? How many times are you going to make the same mistake? I mean, come on, how many loser boyfriends can you have? How many sluts can you date, really? Right? Some of us are hard learners. And the patient, compassionate, kind Christian goes at that level and is patient with people as they come to you for help. You see, when people stop coming to you, you no longer have a witness. You have nobody to talk to. I have a theory that those who are going out and after the lost world have already lost their witness, and the lost world's not coming to them. Amen. Because when they look at them, they don't see any of these, they see some nakedness. And you understand, when you take away all that from you, you are naked, you're raw, you're useless. The world has no need for someone who's not compassionate or kind or humble or gentle or patient. They have no need for you. And when the world has no need for you, you're no longer what Jesus says you're going to be, salt and light. They will simply discard you. They will simply go around you. They will simply find compassion and kindness and humility and gentleness and patience somewhere else. And then you and I will be sitting on the sidelines going, see, they turned to something else. We knew it was going to happen. Jesus knew it was going to happen. Jesus knows the world is searching for who He is and what He's got. Jesus knows that they're searching for Him who's hidden inside of you. And the only way they're going to see Him and feel Him and experience Him is if you put it on and you wear it. This happens in your house. This happens in your neighborhood. This happens out there on the beach. This happens at work. Everybody you're surrounded by, you better be wearing the right Christian clothes. And that's what He told you to put on. And you might need to take some of the crap off you've been wearing. Judgmentalness, anger, outrage, impatience, unkindness, uncompassionate. You ever said they're getting what they deserve? Yeah. Uncompassion. Gentle. Whatever the opposite of gentle is. What is it? Rough? Gruff? I've met enough of those. Anybody met a gruff Christian? Yeah. That's them. That's them. Then he gives us Paul says this is what you should be known by. Okay, this you want to do what Jesus said. You want to be like Jesus who said love one another. Put this on. Put it on. And then see it. Then he goes Colossians 3:13. Kind of ties it together. Bear with one another and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. This is how it looks. Remember we talked about this Wednesday night. If you were here, kind of throughout the Lord's Prayer, said we don't need it anymore? That's not what we said. You should have been here. You should have been here. But right there, there's your problem line in the Lord's Prayer. Paul flips it for you. Paul says, this is what you need to be doing. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And how did the Lord forgive you? Everything. He didn't hold anything back. Forgive them. But they did this again. Well, then forgive them again. But I've already forgiven them 9 times. Well, then you've had enough practice. Shouldn't be that difficult. But they're always like this. Well, then quit forgiving them for being that way and start loving them for being that way. Be gentle to them. Be compassionate to them. If they're an idiot, you need to be compassionate towards the idiot. You need to be kind towards the idiot. Because the idiot's going to need Jesus at some point. You're the one who's got him inside you. If not you, can you imagine? This is what the world ends up with. I need Jesus, and they go look, and that's what they find. Oh, extra classes on this one comes Wednesday at 5:30. 3:14, one more. And over all these virtues, here you go, the umbrella. Put on love, which binds them together, perfect unity. You see, when love is your primary motive that Jesus said you should have, and Paul says, I'm going to show you how it can look like, love puts all this together. How can I be compassionate to somebody I can't stand? The answer? You can't. You cannot be compassionate to somebody you can't stand. How can I be gentle to somebody that I would rather wring their little neck? Get a teenager. You can't. It's impossible. You can't say, I want to wring their little neck, but I know I got to be compassionate. So you try to patch compassion on top of I want to wring their little neck. You love, then you have compassion. You love, then you can be kind. It's a byproduct. You love, and then you can be gentle. You love, and then you can be as patient as you need to be. Put this stuff on and let love bind it all together and make a full outfit. Make you the outfit that God would have you to put on, that He would like for people to see in you. So the full list: compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, forgiveness, and love. I know you're thinking, honestly, how am I going to get anything done? I mean, maybe if I only stayed home with a bunch of preschoolers who never did anything bad, I could do this. Or, I would expect this from a preacher at church. Here's how I know it can be done. Who said it? No, that's a good answer. Always in church, say Jesus. But Paul said this part. And he said it as someone who accomplished more in a few years than you and I ever will be in a lifetime. Nobody's going to be talking about you 2,000 years later. Sorry. And here we are, talking about a guy who said, put on these 6 things. And he was beaten, stoned, not recreationally, shipwrecked, that's 2 weeks in a row, snake bit, and yet planted all these churches. He had enough in residual emotion that he could have held anything against anybody. He had more reason. How many of you have actually been stones thrown at you? I almost said, how many of you all have been stoned? That would have been like, everybody. How many of you have physically ever been stoned for being who you are? No, physically. Had a rock thrown at your head. Okay, only 2 of you. That's weird. How many of you have been shipwrecked because of what you were trying to do? Nobody? How many of you were physically beaten simply because you love God? Yeah, see, I didn't think so. And then here's a guy who's had all those things done to him and saying, put this stuff on. Compassion, kindness, gentleness, patience, love. Put it on. Be this to them. Let them see this when they look at you. But I have an excuse. Paul would say, Jesus would say, the heck you do. You have no excuse. There is nothing. You can't give me a reason that you can't do this to every person. You can't come up with one unless you're using your piggish self. Unless this is what you are. Empty. Then you got an excuse. Point. It's possible. It's not natural, but it's possible. Possible. Doable. But not natural. You're going to have to work at it. Those little voices are going to be telling you the opposite. They deserve it. Don't vote. Don't do this. Treat. Nah. That's what the voices are going to be saying. But the other voice is saying, put this on. Put this on. Be this. Be this. Wouldn't it be great? Look around your world this week. See how it would be different. Not if every Christian put this on, because you're really good at that, finding out what other Christians need to put on. But find out how your world would be if you put it on. Think about what would go away if you really put him on. If you really put him on. Let's all stand. We're going to go through room 1 right there by the sound booth. We're going to go through depart to serve door. And in the door on your left as you go in. They changed it up on me when I was there. Lunch is provided for you. Be sure and thank Randy and the kids. Yeah, so we have coffee and tea available for drink and water. There's tea in there. You have to make your own cup. Not that tea. We have hot tea. Sorry. Yeah, we have hot tea and coffee. So if you want, we have drinks. If you want to stay and eat, you can. Church is going to stay open. You just want to hang out and eat, you can do that. Campus, stay and eat, whatever you want to do. Any word? Any ideas? We'll see you back Wednesday night at 5:30 for fellowship meal and Bible study in the building behind us, retreat center. We'll meet you there. We're going to go deeper with this. We're going to pull out some examples. We're going to talk about people. So be sure and come, because if you don't, we're going to talk about you. All right? And we can do that because you can't prove it. It's going to be good. Connie, why don't you pray for us? Bless this meal too while we're at it.